Hammond, Louisiana is an hour outside of both New Orleans and Baton Rouge. After Hurricane Katrina, its population nearly doubled overnight, but its new citizens did not bring the big city to Hammond. Instead, they adopted Hammond's more casual and comfortable lifestyle. While Hammond is not a major city or tourist hotbed, it has earned the distinction of being the skateboard capital of Louisiana, thanks to the efforts of two local skaters, Kerry and Neal. Together they have created a skate scene in Hammond like no other in the state. Hammond is home to the first public cement skate park in Louisiana, and since its creation, Kerry and Neal have seen skateboarding thrive in their small community.
So the skate capital of Louisiana, how did that happen?
Me and my partner Chris, we built an indoor park about 4.5 years ago. We kept that going for a while, put a shop in there, built things up, got more kids into skating. They actually had a place to go and skate for once. And eventually got the money to move the shop into downtown and started working towards getting a public park.
Was it the actual building of the public cement park that made this area really spring up as far as the skate scene?
Yes, definitely. Like when I first moved to Hammond, met Neal and a few other guys, I mean, it was probably 5 to 10 active skateboarders. And then once the ball got rolling to get the public park built,
just exploded.
You can't be a kid, walk past the park without wanting to try it, you know? I don't care what your thing is, if your buddy's telling you, oh yeah, the skate park's cool, and you drive by and see that thing, like that monstrosity of a concrete wonderland.
And another thing really too that added on to just blowing up the scene as big as it is right here was unfortunately the hurricane. And so it was kind of when Katrina hit, you know, New Orleans, and so many of the parishes around there were just destroyed. And Hammond got a lot of wind and some wind damage and stuff. We don't flood out like we nothing compared to those other parishes. Our skate population just immediately, you know, got bigger. So
you're saying that people left New Orleans and came to live here?
Well, all over really, Mississippi, Alabama, like all over. I mean, people were in such a bad situation they had to come somewhere.
You know, for like everybody that was affected by the hurricanes, bummed that they were affected by them, but I'm very glad that they're here. Kerry and I would skate here years ago, and it would be me and Kerry and just a few other people riding by ourselves. And now we've got just this massive scene.
Every year, you know, so much money is appropriated and so much is set aside for recreation. And right now, the skate park's definitely getting a lot of love from that.
Definitely.
And we're super thankful.
Yeah, we got a great mayor and a lot of really good councilmen that are just completely behind the park. You know, they were told that if the park was built, you know, they would come and it happened. And honestly, it happened better than I expected it to. Like, I was like, man, what happens if we build this, we get this Dreamland Park? And like 6 of us skated every day.
And it's you know, that's happening in other communities. You know, is that, I mean, honestly, I mean, there's places where there's guys have these great skate parks and nobody's using them. I mean, so what makes it different here? What have you guys done differently as far as building your community to make it so that there's a foundation there so that the park is happening, that the scene is happening?
I believe the fact that we I'll say we, just being older skateboarders, not having anything when we were kids, nothing to look, you know, rely on as far as besides putting your board on the ground and going. Now that we've got something, we want it to happen, want it to stay here and push and definitely preach a little bit to the kids that
push skateboarding.
You've got to do this, or you need to keep this straight. You know, you need to take care of your park. You need to take care of your scene. And make sure that as the scene grows, it's not oppressed by anything. Like telling kids, you know, there's more of you now. So when you're street skating and that cop says, hey, you can't be here, just deal with it, walk away.
We both push skateboarding. We talk it. It's all we talk about with each other and with anybody else. But like, one thing is with the website, I got to bring up the website, is that we wanted to make like a magazine. It's updated almost daily, so all the kids and adult skaters know what's going on in town, and then we have a forum in there, and so all the kids talk to each other, and all the adults talk to each other.
Right.
Everybody is completely active, so even if they're not out here skating, they can still go home and be a part of the Hammond scene.
Right.
And
it's a positive thing.
It's a very positive thing.
You don't see this type of community, this type of unity within a community. I mean, you guys don't really seem to have cliques or different segregated groups of skaters. It's like
cliques aren't allowed.
It's like come one, come all. Everyone's in it together.
We try to pound that in their head that that's the way it's supposed to be.
If you got a board, that's the clique. You know, and if you skate, you're in the family.
I feel you on that one, but you know, things changed on me somewhere along the way.
With us having a younger skateboard community, I guess, as far as this this big of a scene now, we've got the opportunity to kind of mold things.
It's a pretty amazing opportunity we have as older skaters, that we have these little brothers, that we have this instant connection with these young people.
Definitely.
And with that comes this responsibility to guide them in the right way and keep them accountable.
Exactly.
I personally thrive on it. I can relate to where you guys are coming from. I mean, everything you guys are saying, I think it makes for a pretty unique situation here, and it's rad for me to see it, because what's playing out here in Hammond is the kind of thing that I've been talking about, trying to bring to the forefront everywhere I go in my travels, and that is the idea of making your scene your scene. It starts locally and then it spreads, and I see that happening here, and it's just so exciting for me, and I think you guys have such a great opportunity. I mean, it's not even an opportunity, it's happening. You guys are doing it. You are making something happening. You're making something happen for yourselves, and it's also something that's going to get passed on to the next generation of skaters.
The skate scene in Hammond is an example for other towns to follow. When a community bands together and rallies around a common need, when caring individuals step up and lead the way, anything is possible. When a small town, a suburb of the state's larger cities, can become the epicenter of skateboarding in its region, there is hope for other towns and cities everywhere.